support side, you now have 3 minutes for your rebuttal.
Okay, so first off, I would like to address how opposition stated that embryonic stem cell research is currently economically not viable. They mentioned first off that rich people would they mentioned that they would not be able to afford the treatment. However, technology, as we know, always will get cheaper as it gets more widely used. For example, bone marrow transplant was initially extraordinarily expensive, and as we continued research, it got far cheaper. So only by continuing this research can we enable embryonic stem cells to actually come to use and become the gold standard. Like, they're already the gold standard, so it's the best option we have currently for quickly getting stem cells into use. And cures also are typically far less expensive than attempts to control diseases. Right now, healthcare is gradually trying to control diseases such as Parkinson's by offering treatment every 3 years. But with stem cells, you can cure it all in one shot, and therefore it's far less expensive than actually applying these repeated treatments. They also mentioned that there are currently no reported successes of stem cell research. However, there have been recent studies that where they applied embryonic stem cells in order to try and get patients to see better, just to show that it would be safe. 10 out of the 18 patients could see better, 7 of them didn't get any worse, and only 1 got worse. So that means that overall, currently embryonic stem cell research is already been shown to improve people's disabilities. And also, I'd like to note for economic impact of stem cell research, the current stem cell market is $170 billion, and introducing embryonic stem cells would allow us to cure far more diseases which are currently incurable. So overall, it would generate significant economic benefit to the economy.
So you propose the fact of using adult stem cells and iPSCs as a viable alternative to embryonic stem cell research. I have a case where I have a story of a brother and sister. The brother was used to provide adult stem cells to the sister for her disease, and it was very painful for both the brother and the sister. And that was one case where it was successful. Many of those cases are not successful, and if the mother and father want to conceive a baby for the purpose of using iPSCs and adult stem cells, then they would need to use PGDs or rely on a very low odds, to produce us a baby that's compatible with the diseased person, and it just doesn't have a high success rate.
Yeah, that is it.
Now, before we begin our debate, do you mind if I call for a couple cards?
For what?
A couple cards, pieces of evidence.
He wants to see evidence.
No. Is that allowed, Ms. Al?
Yeah, so when you guys begin the next segment, he can show you. Okay?
Sorry, when we begin the...
The next segment, he can show you.
Okay. All right. You got this.
Okay, now opposition has 3 minutes for their rebuttal. Ready to begin.
So I'd like to begin by re-emphasizing the standard of public health. Therefore, if people do not, if the affirmation does not uphold public health as a primary standard for the round, they will automatically lose the case. So my opponents have the obligation to argue for the fact that, argue for HESCs as being the primary tools to save lives in their arguments. And it's been shown, like in their first argument, they talked about how how HESCs were the next step in medical research. However, this argument is actually not unique because adult stem cells as well as induced pluripotent stem cells both have the potential to save lives as well. Moreover, they're not effective, as we will prove, but this is out of the question because they're completely impractical. According to Dr. Robert Moffitt in a report by the Heritage Foundation, it costs only the 17 million diabetes patients in the United States would require a minimum of 850 million to 1.7 billion human eggs in order for this to actually be applicable in the real world. And collecting 10 eggs per donor, and the total cost would be 100,000, 200,000 for 50 to 100 human eggs per each patient. Now this has to be extrapolated on a global scale, which is simply impractical. Moreover, they've never been even proven to work in humans through sufficiently extensive medical trials. Our opponent cited a case which has not been clinically proven because there's been no human trials for HESCs despite all the hype, all the media. After 20 years of research, embryonic stem cells have not proven to be in human clinical trials. They have not been able to treat people. And in addition, even if we ignore the impracticality and the fact that it simply doesn't work, and the fact that it's untested, it can also cause radically adverse side effects in humans that can be fatal or highly crippling. Judges, why would we ever submit ourselves to this as a species, enduring harm while paying for it with our taxpayer dollars, and to subsidize more practical, beneficial funding such as iPSCs and adult stem cells, as Travis was talking about?
I'd like to point out that in contention one of the affirmative case, they claim that HESCs can cure diseases like HIV, leukemia, and Parkinson's more cost-effectively with less risk. This is completely false. There have been no clinical trials relating HESC's successful treatments. However, adult stem cells have proven to be more effective as an alternative. According to the Loiser Institute in 2017, adult stem cells have treated over 1 million patients worldwide, showing significantly improved health and more data behind with 3,500 clinical trials. Furthermore, adult stem cells have proven to cure 73 conditions and counting, making them in every way a better alternative to HESCs.
You also said that HESCs is going to decrease health insurance, but also already really expensive. Now you have 1 minute of preparation.